Good morning. I'm joined again for another property interview, this time by the legendary social housing expert, Martin Fillery from Complete Moves. Good morning, man.
Morning. I'm Martin from Complete Moves. We are a specialist agency. We specialise in sales and marketing of shared ownership properties for housing associations and local authorities.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, without further ado, we shall whiz through our questions to get your expert knowledge, sir. So, question one. If you'd had 2 months' notice that COVID-19 was coming, what would you have done differently, do you think?
I think we would have got a stronger digital offering. So about 3 weeks ahead of the actual lockdown, I realised that it was going to take a bit of a turn, and that the potential for us to be able to carry out viewings was reducing. So I got the team to go out with their iPhones and film various new homes within each of their developments, which we topped and tailed with our logos and site plans and stuff like that, and set up a YouTube channel that we could direct people to for them to look at. One of the other things I would have done as well was maybe done some question and answer and video sessions with solicitors and financial advisors, so that they could have spoken to our customers through the process. Just so that there's a little bit more padding really to the sales process. And some case studies from people that have purchased off plan, I think would have been really useful, just to give people comfort. I think overseas people are very well versed in purchasing off plan. They can look at a pile of mud in the middle of nowhere and sort of visualise what it's going to look like. We're not particularly good at that at the moment in the UK, and it's because our digital offering hasn't been that strong in the past. So I think it would have been used to get some case studies from people that have gone through that experience in the UK, so that it just gave people a little bit of comfort.
No, I'd agree with that. I think everyone's digital offering after this, certainly with video technology, is going to become the norm, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, I think so.
So moving on, what or who has impressed you most at this time?
I think it's really rude not to mention Colonel Tom. Yes. I think he's been an absolute inspiration at 99 years old, and on his 100th birthday today. I think it would be really, wrong not to actually give him a mention. I think he's been a total inspiration to all of us. If somebody at that age can raise the amount of money that he has, and just he seems to have inspired not just us as a nation, but sort of people from across the world. Aside from him, I think the people that I've encountered, just their positivity. Everybody has, we've all had to adapt to a new normal, and it's sort of really amazed me, people's appetite, the appetite of staff, the appetite of customers, the appetite of our partnering agencies to actually do what's right and do what's best for our customer. So I think that's been my sort of most sort of impressive and my most inspiration really.
Good. No, I was very pleased to see this morning when I saw the news that he became a colonel, because I think that would probably mean more to him being a military man than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Describe something different now. Describe something you've enjoyed the most during this period of lockdown.
I think for me, it's been really, really useful because I wrote all of our policies and procedures quite some time ago, based on my own experience in the sector. And actually what I've realised is, because I haven't had to do the job of a sales negotiator or a sales progressor for quite some time, it's actually outdated, and we are not doing things as well as they could be done in terms of the processes and streamlining stuff, and there's lots of repetition, so I never get time to pause. And actually what this has done is it's given us all that opportunity to slightly pause, to have a look at what we're doing and see how we can do things differently. So that's been fantastic for me. It's actually motivated me to get a move on with our CRM system, so we're going to be rolling that out, so I should get that tested at the end of this week. I just think just the actual opportunity to sort of pause and review, it never comes along, and so that's been the most enjoyable thing for me out of the whole experience, is actually giving me the opportunity to do that.
Oh, good. I think it's given us all the time to reflect and decide what's important in life. I certainly found that. I think my kids are still a bit surprised that they see their mum and dad as much, because they never saw us as much before. So,
yeah.
What do you think the biggest change to the property sector will be when this is all over, assuming it's all over eventually?
I think that you know, the digital offer is going to be the biggest change. I think there'll be more remote working. I think you'll find, well, I'd like to think that I think we all talk a good job about putting the customer at the forefront of everything that we do, and we talk about the customer experience and how that should be. But actually, are we looking at that customer experience from the customer's perspective, or what makes it work best and easiest for us? I would like to think that this will put the customer at the forefront. I think we will see more digital, you know, better digital offering. We'll see better, you know, assets, floor plans. I think there'll be a move towards virtual viewings. So once we're actually able to go into the show home, there'll be, you know, a virtual viewing opportunity. And I'd like to think it will tighten up the relationship as well between the partnering organisations, because I've worked really much more closely than I have ever before with our solicitors, with our financial advisors, to do what's right for the customer and to do the best thing for the customer and actually put them at the forefront. So I would like to think those will be the major changes that we'll see. I think we're going to see a difference in the way that people work in terms of office space. You know, I've already decided I don't need to drag my team into an office in London every Monday for a team meeting. We're quite capable. We're all adults. We're quite capable of meeting, you know, through one of the portals and coming together once a month actually on site somewhere, so everybody gets to see the different sites that we're working on. They might have some suggestions for sites that, you know, that for signage, for, you know, the way that we present particular developments. I think it's gonna, yeah, I think that will change.
No, I agree with that. I've got to say, I think where we're all, certainly here at Dutton Gregory, we're seeing more clients than ever before, but we're doing it virtually. Whereas before, if they had to come to the office or we had to go to them, it was a bind for everyone. Whereas now, quick, ranging and cool, see each other face to face. And I know it's not in the flesh, but it's what people want, isn't it? They want to have interaction.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, it's long overdue actually for the property industry to embrace digital technology. You know, we've been very slow to sort of to maximise the potential of it, and I think it's, you know, this has been a really good thing for that, because actually it's taught us as employers that we can, you know, rely on our employees to work from home and be very efficient at that and get the job done. But it's also taught us, you know, I have to do a lot of client sort of interaction, and again, it's taught me that we don't have to be sat in an office somewhere. We don't have to be doing something over a lunch or, you know, or a dinner. It can be done in this way and can still actually be more effective because you've got more time, you're not travelling quite so much. And got to be good for the planet, I would suggest, in terms of, you know, the health of the planet. I think it will probably make us all think again about how many holidays we have a year, and, you know, sort of quite how, you know, we've been very lucky with the freedom of movement that we've had around the globe, and it's come at a cost, and I think we need to, you know, look at that and think differently about that. And again, local businesses, I think, you know, it's certainly made me think about, you know, when we go back to some sort of normality, where I shop, what I'm buying, you know, and just sort of try and support local businesses more, because they make such a difference to our community and our economy, and, you know, they've been undervalued. So that's the route I'm
So
going.
our eating habits in the Sounds household have improved dramatically, because we're eating, well, we eat as a family every lunchtime, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
We would never have done that before, because we'd both be at work and the kids would be at school. So it's made a very big difference there. So last but not least, Martin, when this is all over, what's the one thing you haven't been able to do that you're looking forward to doing the most?
I've got to be honest, it's going to be family time. I'm so looking forward to seeing members of my family that I haven't been able to be around. I'm really looking forward to just being able to, you know, just sit and have a barbecue, or, you know, just go and meet for you know, and sit and have a coffee and a chat, and, you know, that face to face. Yeah, I've really missed that actually. It's I'm a very sociable person. I really like people, and I enjoy, you know, people's company. So I'm out a lot and always very active. I've never been somebody to sit indoors, and I've found that a bit of a struggle, staying indoors every day. I'm fortunate enough that I work in a job that for the past 17 years I haven't been tied to a desk every day. You know, I have had the freedom to move around and go to different sites, and, you know, that I find that really, you know, it excites me, going and looking at new stuff. And yeah, so I found it a struggle to be sat at a desk every day. So yeah, family is going to be the most important thing for me when we are able to get back out and about.
No, I think that's the same for a lot of people. It's my mum's stuck up in the northeast. Well, I say stuck up in the northeast. She's with my brother. It's not that stuck up there. She was due to come down here for Easter to see my boys, so her grandchildren, and couldn't do it. So she's raring to come down. I did warn her not to breach lockdown. So she's still up there now. But I wouldn't want to be the police if she decided she was going to be locked up any longer. She would just knock them over and come down anyway. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Martin. And anyone out there that is a registered provider or a housing association, if you don't know this man, you should do. So thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care.